back. We're here with my co-host Andrea Kay and Urban Miaris, and we have our first guest of the day, Miss Erin Beadle, the general manager from Lakehouse Hotel and Resort. Welcome, Erin.
Hello, good to be here.
Great. So, Lakehouse Hotel and Resort. Tell us about it. Where is it, and tell us what makes you so special.
Well, some of you might not know, but there's a lake here in San Diego. It's in San Marcos, North County area there, and we've built kind of reminiscent of a summer lake home right there with 140 rooms and little cottages and.
So we can come up there, have a room, have breakfast in the morning, jump on the lake in a boat, or tell us more about what we can do there.
Absolutely, the options are pretty endless. So. It's a kind of a family environment, so we do a family s'mores night on Saturday where we bring out complimentary s'mores and the whole shebang, and we've got probably about 9 fire pits on property altogether. And
you better watch out. You know, you're telling me to bring my kids up there, right. And I'm not sure you want to go that far.
Right, yeah. We don't know each other like that yet.
That's right. You don't know my kids, okay?
Right. You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can do that at night and cozy up to one of the fire pits, and then in the morning take a paddle boat out or a pedal boat or one of our electrical boats. And we even got some new stand-up paddle boards, and we're doing some stand-up paddleboard lessons out there on the lake now. So
awesome.
A lot of stuff going on at the lake.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, it sounds like a perfect thing, actually, for people who live in San Diego to do like a staycation. You don't really need to leave San Diego to go and have a great time. Is that, one of the main groups of people that you're reaching out to? Or?
Yeah, we do get a lot of San Diego staycationers because it kind of takes you to a whole nother place in the same county. So you can drive only 45 minutes south or north, really, and be in a whole new destination that you didn't even know existed. For all the years I've spent in San Diego, I had no idea that lake was there. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Isn't it amazing? Everybody comes to San Diego for vacation, and then when we go to vacation, we go to where they came from.
Yeah,
It doesn't make sense.
And there's no need to leave, and especially if you can have like a completely different experience. I grew up in the South where we did freshwater activities, and I miss it. I miss being out on a boat on fresh water instead of, as much as I love the beach, I just love the idea of a freshwater lake experience because that's something I don't ever get anymore.
Exactly.
And you don't have to get on a plane and go anywhere to do it.
Yeah, you can fish out there, get some bass, and even go over to our driving range and golf. It's totally surreal.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because I've been to Lake San Marcos many times, but I never saw Lake San Marcos. To me, was always a place where you'd retire, you'd get a condo or a townhouse up there. I didn't see, and of course, you always had the Quail's Inn. That was, to me, that was a brunch location. Now you have a full resort there for all kinds of things. The Quail's Inn is gone, isn't it?
Yeah, the it's coming back.
Okay.
The Quail's Inn is going to be now the Quail. It's a restaurant that we're building, a 2-story restaurant and with a huge floating dock and these beautiful fire pits, and residents are going to be able to dock right up to the restaurant and dock and dine. And
wow.
The whole community is coming around to support us, and we're really becoming a staple there.
I'm looking at my notes here. You're telling me that I can come up there and have dinner on a floating dock out there, and
I know that's just like the prop stop out of Baton Rouge that I used to go to. I mean, this is right up my alley. We had Cabrillo yachts on a couple weeks ago. People can go there and buy a boat, and then they can go and they dock it up there?
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
Yeah, they can. In order to be on the lake, you have to be a resident. So the hotel is a resident.
Okay.
So all our guests are considered residents. Mm-hmm. And that's what makes that lake spectacular because it's never overcrowded. It's not full. It's really great to go out there on a non-motorized kayak and cruise around. So you can stay at the hotel, and then you can take a boat out and dock at the restaurant for sure.
Wow.
Do you have facilities for small groups, board of director meetings, and all of that?
Oh, absolutely.
Wonderful.
It's an excellent spot for that. We have our signature meeting space is called the Boathouse, actually, and it's about 1,500 square feet and then has this beautiful patio that overlooks the lake. So you can have indoor-outdoor experience and do some team-building activities like kayak races or pool volleyball and
Oh, watch out what you wish for with Urban over here.
Yeah.
You've ever seen Urban out on the water, you better watch out. When
But I don't do
rig.
volleyball.
Yeah.
No. I'm a target.
Now, you say here that you create a personalized vacation experience. What does that mean?
so at our resort, we don't even wear name tags. It's all about creating relationships. So a guest will come in, you introduce yourself, you get their name, you use their name as many times throughout their stay, and you really find ways to do that extra touch, even if it's delivering milk and cookies to their room because it's their kid's birthday, or champagne because it's their
Wow.
honeymoon. We do everything we can to make the stay extra special, not just a night in a hotel somewhere.
Interesting.
Well, that is interesting because at a time in which people are kind of cutting back in the service industry in terms of what they offer. I mean, you go on an airplane now and you can't even hardly get a bag of peanuts, right? I mean, to have a new resort that actually focuses on intentionally providing extra service, it's just really it's exciting. It's fun.
We call it a affordable luxury. We want to give you a good value. There's cookies in the lobby when you come to check in. There's coffee every morning. There's complimentary sangria. We call it our happy hour on Fridays from 5:30 to 6:30 at the pool bar.
Okay, you have my attention.
She has all of our attention.
I know.
Okay?
Well, she had me a cookie.
She has the cookies for Andrea. She has the lake for Urban, and
a happy hour. That's an hour and a half. I mean, you get a bonus right there.
Oh, great. So you're listening to Close Up on San Diego Business here on KFSD AM 1450 and financialnewsandtalk.com. I'm your host, Barry Waxler, here with my co-host, Andrea Kay, and Urban Miaris, and our guest is Erin Beadle from Lakehouse Hotel and Resort. Now, I just noticed down here that you have already gotten some spectacular reviews from, is that Expedia, or tell us about that.
Yeah, so Expedia just came out with their Insider Select list. So they researched all the reviews that have come through Expedia and have determined that our hotel is the best reviewed hotel in the world. So based on all the people who have stayed here and written reviews, we are the highest percentage you can be, and it's awesome. And I really think it's that personal touch that we're giving to our guests and creating those relationships that's encouraging them to.
That's great. If I decide not to go over to Victoria Jungfrau and Interlaken, I'll come back to the lake house instead. So that's wonderful.
Now, how did you? I want to talk a little bit about you, Erin, because I just think it's so inspirational to me that we've got the hospitality industry is just full of, I'm just going to say it, male GMs. Most of the general managers are men. Typically, they work their way up in the ranks, and so they're usually 40s and above. And here you are, a hot witch. How did this happen?
I guess it can go all the way back to my days at San Diego State. I was a hospitality major at San Diego State, which is a great program there, and learned the basics, of course, and then started from the bottom and moved my way up just as any other GM would do. I have a pretty strong sales background, and I think that's the whole new movement in the GM position. A lot of people are going from sales to GMs because you understand the numbers, you understand how to make the property successful. So that's kind of what I did, and it's really creating the relationships I had from my first job out of college, which was at Tower 23, which is another property that Eat, Drink, and Sleep, which manages the lake house, owns and operates down in Pacific Beach. I stayed in touch, and when they found out everything I learned when I was gone, they wanted me back. So
So interesting. Well, you keep referring to Eat, Drink, and Sleep, which I'm used to the old hotel environment. I'm used to the bed and breakfast, and you have Eat, Drink, and Sleep. Is this like a new movement in hospitality?
Well, it started as just Eat. So the company Eat, Drink, Sleep started with Moondoggies a long time ago. And Brett Miller, who is the CEO and creator of Eat, Drink, Sleep, realized he can get into hotels and created Tower 23, and from there created more and more hotels. And each hotel has a very important food and beverage element. It's a big deal to have the food and beverage as a highlight, not just
It's not an
somewhere you can get
afterthought.
breakfast. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jordan Restaurant in Pacific Beach is almost even known as a separate entity from the hotel.
Hmm.
It's that important. So that's the same concept at the Lake House, that the Quail is going to be a destination restaurant on its own.
Good. And the Quail's tentatively opening spring 2015?
Springtime, yeah.
Good.
And what's the menu? What's the cuisine going to be there?
I am not in charge of the cuisine, but I've heard some positive things in terms of more of a rustic steak restaurant, maybe buffalo burgers and
Oh,
those kind of things
cool.
that are continue that lodge aspect all the way through the
Right.
menu and everything. So
that will go perfect with sangria.
what doesn't go well with sangria?
So, well, we're starting to get close to the break. So tell our listeners how they can find out more information on Lake House.
Well, you can always definitely check our website. It's Lakehouse Hotel and Resort.com. We have an events page on there where we're constantly putting our new events that are coming up. We also stay very on top of our Facebook and our Twitter, just as any young new company would. We also are on Instagram, so you can check us out on any of those areas, and also just swing by Lake San Marcos and come see the hotel, because you really have to see it to believe it. It's when you pull up, it's shocking, and it was very well done.
Well,
Yeah.
the photos on your website are why I've been stalking you for a while to get you on the show. Have I not? What's next? At some point, do you think you might, in 30 seconds or less, open your own resort? The Erin Beadle Resort somewhere?
It'd probably be
What's next for
somewhere
you?
long down the road.
Okay.
Right now, I love working for Eat, Drink, Sleep and growing with them, because they're
amazing.
growing like crazy right now and have a lot of other opportunities in the future, including, I mean, they own part of Belmont Park, or they're managing Belmont Park. They opened Draft there in South Mission.
Wow.
There's a lot going on.
Awesome.
I don't
Just
think
amazing
Brett's going to let her go anyway.
No, he's too smart for that.
Yeah.
Look at what
So.
he's done. Well, thank you so much for coming
Great.
in.
Thanks for
Absolutely.
being
Thanks for
here.
having me.
So definitely look forward to coming out there and checking out the Lake House, and appreciate you being here. So you're listening to Close Up on San Diego Business here on KFSD AM 1450 and financialnewsandtalk.com, where we get up close and personal with homegrown San Diego businesses and the people that are working hard to make a difference in our community. I'm your host, Barry Waxler. We'll be right back after the break with more homegrown business Close Up. We have with us Mr. David Tall from Charitable Agents.